Every Little Thing Yoga, and I'm so excited that we get to practice yoga together today. Now, before we begin, I just want to remind you that safety is always key when we do yoga. So we want to make sure that we're never feeling any pain. We may be stretching and we might feel the stretch in our muscles, but if anything tweaks or hurts, stop, take a break, and you can just go back to sitting in a comfortable seated position. You can even pause the movie and take a break and come back. But while you sit, when you start feeling better, you can always feel free to jump right back in. Now, today's practice is going to be a little different than some of the chair routines that we've done. Today's practice, we are going to be on our mats on the ground. If you don't have a mat, you can just use a carpeted area or a towel or a blanket. A bath towel actually works really great. And we are going to be doing some slow, more kind of stretchy, feel-good flow on the mat today. I'm going to offer a lot of different modifications so that it'll be great for any level. And if there's ever a pose that doesn't work for you, feel free to either just take a break and sit during the pose, relax a bit, or you can write in the comments and tell me what the problem is that you're having or the challenge with the pose that you're having, and I'm happy to try and offer a modification that might work for you, and then you can play the video over and give it another try. All right, so before we start, I have a couple different props here today. You don't have to have the props just like all our other yoga classes, but if you have them, they may come in handy. I have water. That one's a pretty easy one. That's always a good thing to have. I have 2 yoga blocks. If you don't have blocks but think you might need some support bringing the ground up to you, you could get some thicker, stable books, and that would work great. I have my yoga strap, and that can help for a couple different of the bends and poses we're doing. If you don't have a strap, no big deal, but you could use something like a belt. You could use a rolled up dish towel. You could use a bathrobe belt, something like that. Get a little creative. I have a blanket. Does not have to be a yoga blanket. It can be any cozy blanket. We just use that sometimes to pad our knees. We may also use it at the end to get a little extra cozy when we relax. I have an eye pillow. This is definitely not required, but if you happen to have a little weighted pillow like this that you want to use for the relaxation at the end, go for it. Those can feel extra great. And then I have just a regular pillow from my couch or your bed. We're going to use that possibly at the end as well. So again, you don't need any of this, but I'm letting you know so that if you have the items and want to pause and go collect them, they can help make your practice even more restorative and cozy and feel good. All right, so I'm going to scooch back so you can see me. There we go. So we're going to start in a comfortable seat, so you can sit crisscross applesauce. You can sit on your knees, maybe even just to the side, however your body feels comfortable. But we're going to try to sit with our legs firmly grounded into the ground. And then we want to have a posture that has our head over our heart and our heart over our pelvis. And if you think you feel that way, that's just fine. Every person's body is shaped differently, so you want to more have the sensation of head over heart, heart over pelvis than be doing something funny with your back to try and work your body into that pose. So just go for that feeling. All right, and we're going to start with some simple belly breaths. Now we'll put our hands on our belly, and you want to be feeling them moving out when you breathe in, and then come back a little when you breathe back out. So we'll take a deep breath in and out. Good work. And you can breathe. I like to breathe in through my nose and out through my mouth in the beginning to just kind of let it all out on the side, but you can breathe in and out through your nose. If your nose is feeling a little stuffy, maybe you have some allergies today, breathe in and out through your mouth, whatever works for you. So breathe in and out. And once more, breathe in and out. Great work. Now we're going to take our hands and take 2 fingers. I just have my middle finger, my index finger. You could do 3 fingers, whatever works for you. But as we do the same breathing, we're just going to keep breathing in and out. We're going to give ourselves a little gentle massage. So you're going to start here at your temples and breathe in. And just do little circles. Breathe out. Good work. Let's work down. You can work towards where your jaw, the bones meet together. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good work. And we hold so much tension in our jaws and our hips. So these are areas we're really going to try to stretch and work out today to help us feel a little better and more at ease. And you can go all the way down your jaw if that feels good. Then we're going to breathe in, and you can go right behind, kind of where your skull meets your neck. Go right under there. That's another tense area in a lot of people. And just kind of work your fingers down your neck, and then right into your shoulders, where your neck meets your shoulders. Good job. All right. So that just helps to kind of loosen up our necks, loosen up our shoulders, makes us feel a little more at ease when we start our class. Now, I called this class the gift of relaxation because I think that's something so important and something that we so rarely give ourselves. I know right now it's a holiday season for many. It can be very busy. It can be really stressful. And a lot of times we're so busy working on caring for others, making sure people have the meals they need, or maybe we're buying presents for a long list of people. Whatever it might be, oftentimes we're strapped for time, and the first person we often forget is ourselves. And if we can make a little bit of time to work on finding some ease, finding some relaxation, we can give the best of ourselves to others. We can care more for others, give better caregiving. We can be more prepared to tackle whatever's going to come our way, especially if it's surprises, which always seem to happen. We're also just more rested and relaxed and a little less reactive. So I'm so proud and thankful that you took this time today to take care of yourself. Okay, so now we are going to do some very organic neck movements. Now, what does that mean? That basically means listen to your body and see what your neck needs. It might need just some simple rocking from side to side. You might rock kind of along a gentle circle along the back. Rock forward and kind of make a U both ways. You might want to do some neck circles, so maybe do some small circles. I like to lead with my nose. You can make them bigger and bigger. And then we'll change directions. We'll start big in this direction and get a little smaller and smaller. All right. You could just simply shake your head or nod your head. Yes. Shake your head. No. Go nice and slowly. That's a really great way to warm up the neck muscles. Whatever you do, I want you to go nice and slowly. Find what feels good for you. We don't need to crank our neck around. We do a lot of running and jostling all day long, so let's take it nice and easy today. All right. So now we're going to do rainbow stretches, and then we're going to also add a neck stretch into there. So let's plant our left hand on the ground. We're going to breathe in. Raise our right hand to the sky, and then on the exhale, bend over any amount that's comfortable. You can even look up under your arm if that's comfortable. And then we're going to breathe in again. And on the exhale, we're going to come back, and we're going to place our hand gently on our head and ever so slightly put some weight to it. I don't want you to press down and hurt or put pressure, but just enough to feel a little bit of an extra stretch here in the left side of your neck. And then if you want to go a little deeper, you can put your left arm out, and you can also tilt the fingers up to the sky, and you'll feel the difference there. This is a little deeper stretch, and this is a little deeper still. We'll just breathe here a couple times. And then on your next exhale, bring both hands down to the ground. Good work. Now we're going to plant our right hand on the ground and do the same thing on the other side. So breathe in, left hand to the sky, breathe out, and bend over any amount that's comfortable. You can look up under that left arm, and then we're going to breathe in again. And on the exhale, we're going to come back and place that hand on top of our head. Again, just a gentle weight, not a lot of pressure. And then if you want to go deeper, go ahead and bring that arm out You can also tilt the fingers up towards the sky. Great work. All right. So now we're going to warm up our core a little. We've warmed up our neck. We've warmed up our shoulders. Let's warm up our abs or our core muscles because those really support us a lot, both in yoga and throughout the day in life. They help us with posture. They help us with sitting. So we're just going to do some gentle circles. And you can make them as big or as small as you want. You could keep them really small if that's easier in your body. Or you can make them really big, and that'll really stretch out the sides of your body, your lower back. All right. Maybe one more, whichever direction you chose, and then reverse the direction. And make sure that we're breathing. When you go forward, we usually inhale, and then exhale as we go around the back. And that connection to breath really helps us kind of with our pacing and making it nice and gentle and easy. All right, and then come to center. And now we're going to do a very gentle twist. So we're going to put our hands to the side. We're going to breathe them up. Good work. And we're going to twist to the left. So our right hand comes to our left knee. And as we exhale, our left hand goes behind us any amount. We're going to take a breath in and out. Good work. And then breathe in. Come back to center on the exhale. And we'll do that on the other side. So breathe in. On the exhale, left hand to right knee. Right hand behind you any amount. And as you breathe in, you can lengthen. And then you can twist a little deeper if that's comfortable on the exhale. Then breathe in. And on the exhale, come back to center. Nice job. Okay, so now I call these monkey stretches with the kids. I don't know if they have a real yogic name, but they're a really nice feeling stretch. So we're going to take one leg. Let's take our right leg and bring it in, right in towards your pubic bone. And then you bring your left leg in front of that. So your legs, instead of being kind of separated when you're crisscross, one's in close to your seat, and then the other is right on top of that one, or right next to it. All right, we're going to breathe in, and we're going to stretch our fingers up and up and up as we breathe out like a monkey, and we have wide spread fingers. And then you can curl your fingers over or go with fists, but curl them over and pretend they're kind of on a branch and you're kind of hanging. And when you're hanging, breathe in, and as you exhale, you can lower your shoulders down. Shoulders tend to creep up on us. So make sure they're strong, but also have some ease to them. And then we can gently sway side to side like we're on a branch. And then we're going to breathe in. And on the exhale, we're going to fold over any amount. You want to fold from your hips. Keep your arms extended. And you might just come to here today. That's wonderful. You might get closer to the ground, and that's great. You might have palms on the ground. You might have forearms, or you might be able to bend all the way over. But whatever you choose today, I just want you to listen to your body and do what's comfortable. We call that meeting our appropriate edge. We don't want to yank our bodies around and have hurt muscles. Yoga should be something that supports and strengthens our muscles. All right, and then on our next exhale, we come up. Let's try that on the other side. So this time, bring your left foot in and bring the right foot right next to it. And you might feel that you're a little different on this side. As soon as I sat that way, I realized that my left leg might be a little tighter because it was starting to creep up. So every day is different for every body, and every person's body is different as well. So your yoga may definitely not look just like my yoga, and that's perfectly all right. That's kind of how it's meant to be. So we're going to breathe in, and we're going to creep our hands up, creep them up, big wide fingers. And then on the exhale, curl them over. Make sure to lower and engage your shoulders. And then we're going to sway side to side, side to side. And then we're going to breathe in and exhale and fold over on this side. Now you want your sits bones, the bones under your bum, to be still in contact with the ground. So if they start to pick up and you find yourself rocking forwards, just pull a little out of that stretch and go only as far as you still feel good, firm contact with the ground. And again, we might have hands on the ground. We might have hands here. This might be enough where you might just want to lean forward, or you might get all the way to forearms, or stretch all the way head to the floor. Whatever feels comfortable for you today is the stretch that you want. All right, so now that we did our monkey stretches, we're going to do wide-legged table. So we're going to come into hands and knees. Hands and knees in yoga is called table. But what I want you to do is bring your toes together and bring your legs as wide as a yoga mat. I'll show you real quick from the side here so you can see I have my legs wide, not right under my hips. This kind of gives us a little different stretch and a really nice stretch. We still want our hands right under our shoulders, and you want to spread your hands wide and push into your knuckles so that you don't have any undue strain on your wrists. Wrists are just a really sensitive part of the body, so we want to make sure we're always protecting them as much as we can. So we'll start in a neutral spine. That means just sort of a standard flat spine, and then we're going to work on flexing it into cat and cow. So when we breathe in, we roll our pelvis, we let our belly sag down with the breath, and then we put our eyes and gently point our head up towards the sky if that's comfortable. We don't want any tension in the neck. And then on the exhale, round that back like a Halloween cat. Let's do that again. Breathe in. And breathe out. Back to cat pose. And once more, breathe into cow pose. Breathe out to cat pose. Nice job. And now we're going to do some circles. So when we're in this, we're going to stay wide-legged, and you can do cat-cow. You can keep doing it, and breathe in, lean forward, and then kind of round back, but still rounding your back, and do big hip circles that way. You can also do hip circles very small, so kind of stay in your tabletop and just circle your hips around. Whichever feels most comfortable for you today is what you should do. So really listen to your body on this one. I'm going to do some wider circles. And this really gets a lot of the muscles we use when we're sitting, especially if we're sitting for too long. When we've been walking or standing in one spot too long, this really works out all those muscles. So it's really a great stretch. And then we'll switch directions if you haven't already. This is one I also really like to do right before bed. It helps kind of ease any tension that might be in your body, and it helps you get ready for sleep and a little more productive sleep. You can also do it when you first wake up to wake up the body. So it's a kind of a all-purpose stretch. All right. So now we're going to keep our legs still wide, and we're going to thread the needle. So what that means is we're going to take our left hand and place it directly in front of us, kind of like in line with the middle of our body. We're going to breathe our right hand up, and then we're going to bring it through between our legs and our arm, and we're going to melt down to the ground. Now you can leave your hand right here. You can push into your hand a little bit more and kind of make a 90-degree angle for a little more resistance, or you can deepen the stretch by extending the arm out over your head. We'll just take a couple breaths here. This is a really great stretch for releasing some shoulder and upper back tension. And then we're going to come out of the stretch. Now we've been on our wrists for a little bit of time, so if you want, I'm going to show a couple different wrist variations. You can always go up on fists if that gives you more support and that's comfortable for you. You can also, right now, I thought we would try a wrist stretch. So we take each hand and turn it backwards put the fingers towards your legs. And you can even rock a little bit here, still be very gentle, but this can take a lot of the strain you were feeling in your wrists. It can really stretch them in a good way. Sometimes you might not be able to bend your hands all the way around. So you could bend them to the side. That still gives them a great stretch. Or really any amount back towards your legs. Everybody's body is definitely different for how wrists maneuver. And if this is too much, you can always just sit back and come off your wrists. And you could do some wrist circles. That would be another great way to do it. You could do some point and flex. You can hold your fingers. Whatever wrist stretch you really want to take some strain out is just right now. So then we'll come back to our wide-legged table, and we're going to do thread the needle on the other side. So put your hand in the center, your right hand. Breathe in. Raise your left hand to the sky, and then thread through your right arm. And just take a few breaths in this position. Great job. Then we can come back out of it, and again, we'll bend our wrists either backwards and rock on them a little, or just stay static. We could go up on fists again. You can even bend your fists inwards. It's a kind of a different stretch when you go onto the palms of your hands, but that stretches out the backs of the wrists as well. Or we can come up, sit back on our heels, and just do simple wrist circles. All right, so now we're going to do a very gentle flow, and I'm going to offer a lot of modifications throughout, but if at any point anything is too challenging, remember that you can just come back and sit right down. So we're going to go into table, and this time we're going to do a standard table, so knees under hip bones, hands under shoulders, and then we are going to go into downward dog. Now if downward dog is too much pressure on you, you can always do, if it's a wrist situation, you can do this pose. This is dolphin, and I'm on my forearms. You could also just stay in table if you don't want to go into the downward dog position. That would work just great as well. So for those of us going into down dog, let's push up and back into down dog. You can pedal out your legs a little. Don't feel like your heels have to touch the ground. With time, they may start to come closer to the ground, but again, it totally depends on body type. So then from our down dog, we're going to lift up one leg into three-legged dog, and we're going to bring it forward into our chest and bring it up between our hands. It does not have to happen in one swift motion. You can always lift the foot with your hand and put it in the right spot. And now we are in a lunge. I'm actually going to grab my blocks just so I can show some modifications. So in this lunge, it's a low lunge. You can keep your leg lifted if you want more of a stretch. You can lower your knee. If you have very sensitive knees, go ahead and double up on your mat. That'll give extra padding. Or you can grab your blanket and put that under your knee for extra padding. So we've got lots of modifications and options. Now, while we're in the lunge, if you want to bring the floor up to you, you could put your blocks on either the medium or lowest height. And that's a great way to get more of a stretch. I myself have short arms in relation to my legs. So sometimes I like to come up on blocks just to get a deeper stretch and a better stretch in my legs and maintain the right posture. So we're here, and we're going to take a breath, and then breathe out. And then there's an option if you want to twist. So you can twist along with me. You can lower your leg if you have it raised and you need a break, or you can just stay in the low lunge. So if we're twisting, you're going to take your hand, your left hand, put it down next to your right foot, and then raise your right hand towards the sky. You can also bring your right hand more out and over your head, over your ears, or keep it straight up. And then we're going to come back into our lunge and bring that knee down if you didn't have it down already. And we're going to push back into child's pose for a breath. And then we're going to come back to table. And now we're going to do the same lunge on the other side. So if down dog was too much for you before, or you just didn't want to do that pose, you can bring your left leg right up into the lunge right now and just walk your right leg back. Otherwise, we'll do the down dog sequence. So I'll move my blocks out of the way. We're going to push up and back into downward dog. We're going to lift our left leg to the sky, bring it towards our chest, and bring it forward. Great work. Now you remember all the different modifications we can take. I'm going to bring my blocks, and on this side, I feel like I have a little more length, so I'm going to go on the lowest setting of my block. You can also tense your fingers if you want to take some of the pressure out of your wrists to have a little bit of and it's also a finger strengthener. And then we're going to twist for anyone that's interested in the twist. So you're going to take your right hand, put it down by your left foot, twist up, and bring that arm to the sky. Again, you can put it here. Also, you can take a bind and you can put it behind you if you wanted to. And then we're going to bring it back down. Frame your foot, bring the foot behind you, and back into table. We're going to go back into child's pose for a breath. Child's pose is a great pose to rest in. Then we're going to come back up to table, and then just swing your legs around side saddle and find a comfortable seat. All right. So I hope that was good. I got a lot of good stretches for you, and I hope we gave enough modifications that everyone could participate. But if you have any questions, please just add them into the comments, and I'll try and come up with a modification that'll work for you. And I can always give some chair yoga pointers for that part as well. So now that we're here, we're gonna breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Feel free to close your eyes. Breathe in, breathe out. Great job. We kind of brought ourselves back to center. Nice work. So now you did all that awesome hard work, and you get to have the ultimate relaxation. So I want everyone to set themselves up really nicely. I'm going to show you how I would set up. I'm going to sit back up so that you can hear me guiding you through the relaxation, but I will cue you when it's time to sit back up. So for me, I'm going to take my happy place pillow, set it down, and we can, you can either just flop right down if that's how you feel comfortable, or you can slowly lower yourself to give yourself one last little bit of core work. I also want to point out I have my chair here. If a chair shavasana feels better, you can always elevate the legs, put them here, and then scoot your pillow. You can pad the chair seat with a blanket for more comfort, and you could also always pause this and then bring your tablet or your computer over to a couch and do the relaxation there as well. So there are so many options. So now we're going to take our blanket, and if you have one, go ahead and snug up in it and be super duper cozy. Position your head on the pillow. Make sure you're set to really relax, and hopefully you can find a little bit of time to stay uninterrupted for a few more minutes. I know in my house that's always really hard. And then we're going to put our hands on our belly, or one on our belly and our heart, and breathe in, breathe out. One more. Take the deepest breath you've taken all day. Breathe in. Breathe in a little more. And then sigh it all the way out. Great work. All right. So then you can bring your hands down to your side. You can even tuck them under your blanket and be all bundled up like a little, I don't know, little burrito or bug. And get as cozy as you can. And I'm going to take you on a little guided meditation. So, since it's winter time and we were talking about finding some time and some peace to relax, I wanted you to imagine your coziest winter spot. Now, I thought of a few for me, but whatever works for you, I want you to picture that in your head. The few I thought of was maybe curling up under a really thick, cozy blanket and being in front of a roaring fire and having a warm drink next to you and having a wonderful book or someone you love that you get to talk to. Maybe it's going on a sleigh ride. That's something that's really very good imagery for Christmas and the winter time and Hanukkah. You might picture going out on a sleigh ride with your family or maybe even by yourself, and you hear all the different woodland creatures, the owls. Maybe it's nighttime and you can look up at the beautiful stars in the sky. Also, I thought of possibly just going into a meadow. Maybe you don't have any particular holidays you're thinking of, but you just love being with nature during the winter season. So you're in a beautiful, open, glistening meadow. You have freshly powdered snow. Maybe you somehow have a magical warm blanket to keep you cozy as you enjoy it. Whatever that spot is for you, I just want you to work on trying to find your inner magic. So work on picturing that spot. Picture the sight, what you're looking at. Picture the sounds. If it's the fire, maybe you hear the crackle and pop of the fire. If it's the woods, maybe you hear little animals scurrying about, or maybe you just hear the wonderful silence of the winter woods. Or maybe you hear the last few leaves blowing in a wind. And once you find that place, let's take a few deep breaths. So let's breathe in and breathe out. You can imagine any sounds. Breathe in. Any smells that might be present, breathe out. And you slowly want to ease yourself in to a really, really comfortable spot. So wherever you are, you feel yourself supported by the ground, and you feel the strength of your muscles, but you also feel any tension or anything else that's lingering just easing away. And as we breathe, I'm going to sort of guide you through feeling all the muscles relax. So breathe in and imagine someone gently massaging your temples, gently massaging your neck, maybe your jaw, and just feel all those muscles thoroughly relax. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, imagine your shoulders just melting into the ground. Your upper back and your chest, we're letting go of any tension. Then we breathe in again. Breathe out. And imagine your upper arms growing heavy, your lower arms growing heavy, even your fingers and your fingertips and your hands growing heavy into the ground. Breathe in. Breathe out. And picture your belly being nice and soft, your low back losing any more tension it has and relaxing into the ground. Breathe in, and on the exhale, picture your hips relaxing into the ground. Hips are where we hold so much tension, so make sure they're nice and light. Breathe in and breathe out, and picture your upper legs growing heavy, your lower legs growing heavy. If your feet haven't already fallen, let them fall to the side and have your ankles relax and your feet and even your little toes grow heavy. And as you're laying there and you're feeling the ground supporting you, you know you could drift off to sleep. You're so relaxed and you're really thinking about nothing. Just focus on doing nothing for a few breaths. All right. And now, as you're ready, start to wiggle your toes just a little bit. Wiggle your fingers just a little bit. Maybe make fists, gentle fists, and then spread out your fingers. You could do the same, scrunch your toes and spread them out. You could give your legs a little shake or maybe rock side to side. And then, as you're ready, on your next breath, I want you to roll to one side, any side. And you can put your hand on your pillow, or if you don't have a pillow, you can pillow your hands beneath your head. And let's take a few breaths here. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. And then On your next exhale, whenever you're ready, push up into sitting and find one last comfortable seat with me. All right, so I hope that helped you relax and feel really good about the day. And I hope that helped you get rid of any tension or stress, even if it's just for 30, 35 minutes, you were able to not think about whatever else was going on, kind of leave that off the mat and just focus on yourself and feeling refreshed and relaxed and rejuvenated and ready to tackle whatever else might come your way. So if this is morning that you're watching this, I hope you have a wonderful day. If this is evening, I hope this was able to relax you and get you all ready for a great night's sleep. I want to thank you so much for practicing with me, and I hope to see you again soon. Namaste.